Backstage in Den Haag und die haben hier geprobt für den Tourauftakt in 2 Tagen in Rotterdam und in den nächsten Tagen sind die dann auch in Deutschland auf Tour. Hi, welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
So we're backstage here now, and the sort of things I wanted to ask you, like, what are these boxes for?
These belong to the boys. It's their toiletries boxes when they come off stage.
Oh, because it looks as if it's sort of technical, because they're sort of big fat boxes.
They're just probably convenient, you know, and whatever,
Yeah.
but it's got M is Mike, F is Fergal, you know.
Oh,
it's
okay.
And
that's
they just
the
have
towels.
the towels for their showers, their
Yeah.
toiletries, they wash their teeth, all that stuff.
Like all
you know.
human beings do.
Yeah, it's usually about, you know, midnight by the time you finish, and then you either travel on a bus or fly.
Yeah.
So either way, it's just nice to have a shower and clean up because you're really smelly when you come off stage.
Yeah,
Sweaty.
yeah. So you're going on tour also in Germany, of course.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the German fans?
Absolutely, yeah.
So
It's always been a great place for the Cranberries, I think, especially since like our second album really started to take off.
Yes, the Germans just love the Cranberries.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
Very kind of loyal fans in Germany,
Yeah.
I must say, you know.
And is there any difference, sort of the way they rock or the way they dance or sing along or?
Well, mainly what I find different is mainland Europeans aren't afraid to express themselves.
Yeah.
They don't like look around and think, oh, what will my friend think if I jump up and down? So they really enjoy themselves.
Wow.
They don't give a toss whether it's cool or not.
Yeah.
They just enjoy themselves.
The Germans will be happy to hear
Definitely,
that.
you know. I find that like they really let go, and I find that like Germany in general, there's a great appreciation for rock, you know, guitars, and you know,
Yeah.
they get totally into that. Like, so it's great, like, you know, because you know.
Yeah,
It's good if that's
That's
appreciated.
super. That's what I always think. I often think that it's sort of brilliant to stand in the audience, you know, and
Yeah.
everybody's freaking out.
Because
It's
I mean,
lovely.
as you know yourself, you were saying your parents are from the UK or whatever. Very often in very trendy places, people will stand there and just watch the show, and they find it hard to let go.
Yeah.
Because they're worried it's like a peer pressure thing, or it's like it's not cool to headbang, you know, in certain
Yeah.
places or whatever. But for me, it's like I love to see people just doing what they want to do and not giving a toss about what other people think, you know.
Yeah.
So you definitely get that with the German people.
Super. Okay, so here we go with the first video clip, Promises, Cranberries. Wes on Charlotte. Yeah. As it's end of 99, is there anything sort of new bands or new songs that you liked really much?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of things actually that I liked and that I kind of got into in the past few years. Like I think Supergrass are a good band.
Oh wow, I interviewed them a few days ago. They're
like their
so
stuff.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like I even like when I first heard Oasis, I wasn't a big fan, but then I met Liam and he's a really nice guy, and I just kind of got a different.
Is he really nice?
Yeah. I
Because
find him
you know
friendly.
the impression I get is
think,
yes,
yeah.
of course that he's.
But he's actually a very nice guy, and it was just after his baby was born or whatever. And like I think that they're really good songwriters.
Yeah.
As well, you know, they write some nice lyrics and stuff like that. And I like let me think, the guy called Sean Mullen. in America.
Yeah, a lullaby. He did lullaby. Yeah.
That's a nice, beautiful song as well. And God, you know, off head now, it's like I can't really think. But there's definitely a few things that I saw that I
Yes,
think
because
are great.
because
you know?
the thing is, sort of when I look at the music scene now, there are lots of stuff that I sort of really dislike, and it's getting more and more like
Manufactured type music.
yeah, all the sort of clean, pretty boys and girls, and with operations and
Yeah.
all looking the same and stuff like that. And I
Probably.
think it's getting more and more.
It's probably when after I had my baby, you know, and I came back with the Cranberries,
Yeah.
and I felt more feminine than I ever did in my whole life because I gave birth to a child, and so I said, you know, I'm going to be feminine now. So I went off and I bleached my hair and I let it grow long.
Yeah.
But then I started touring with the band, and I started looking at music magazines again because I didn't for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was like there was all these clean blonde babes. So it was
Yeah.
like, I shaved my head again. And then, you know, I don't want to be one of those either. You know, it's like, because like I always try to be kind of known for my voice and the songs you write, not for your looks and stuff.
Yes,
you know, 'cause-
exactly, for the things you can do and not
Yeah,
what you can't
exactly,
help.
yeah.
Sort of. So, yeah, I always do that in my show.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah, I always try to be really dirty and sort of nasty so that I'm not as clean as them. Okay, so here goes Just My Imagination for you. Mit Dolores von den Cranberries. In this time where you took a break from music, the press was very, very mean. Sort of what are the meanest things that the press can do to people?
I think that they can inhibit their creativity from criticizing. If you criticize something too much,
that people can't be creative anymore.
Yeah, you become paranoid and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, I should be stronger than that, but I mean, I think eventually it does people's heads in. Like, I think that the press they're really behind you when you're at the bottom, but when you rise to the top and you become successful, they really hate you.
Oh,
and then they print so much bullshit, like.
Yeah.
You know, there's been so many untrue things printed that you do get to a point of, you know, you don't want to go around suing people for the rest of your life.
Yes, that's the only thing you could do against it, isn't it? And it's all fun.
And you don't want to go down that avenue and become this hung-up individual trying to protect your privacy.
Yes.
So you just try to ignore a lot, but I've kind of learned to ignore a lot of it.
Yes, because the thing is, I wanted to sort of tell my audience, because since I've got this job and I get to meet people that often are in newspapers, and it's sort of, the reality is so far away from what they write, because it's often sort of that they copy articles over and over again, you know.
Or they read a rumor and then they print it.
Yes.
And then if you say, like, where did you read that? That's not true. And they go, well, I read it. And it's like, then you start thinking, do I want to sue this person or do another interview and print a nice interview about me? You know, it's just like such a load of crap, really, because it really has very little to do with the music or the fans or the band.
Yeah.
Because generally, like, what I find is that our fans are really good fans and true fans, and basically they like our music, they like our albums. That's all it boils down to.
Yes, so
it's not about what we look like, and it's not what we do, like, so,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, like, so. But they're pretty annoying sometimes.
I can imagine. Okay, so here goes Animal Instinct. Funding Cranberries. Lots of stupid stuff in it, but lots of brilliant stuff, of course. Yeah. And there was this thing about your wedding.
Yeah.
And there was this whole sentence, and I didn't understand one single word describing what you were wearing.
Yeah.
And then afterwards it said lots of people were shocked, and I sort of read this whole article and I couldn't, because it was like, how do you call it, fashion words? And I didn't know them. So yeah, what were you wearing?
It was really simple, actually. I mean, it was just lace, lace trousers.
Yeah.
And it's see-through white lace. It was very pretty.
Yeah.
And I wore boots to my knee. And it was kind of like a chivalry type of boot, you know, with the lace. The boot was over the lace.
Yeah.
And then, because it would be see-through here, I had a kind of a knickers type thing, a white one, which it wasn't a G-string. My ass was completely covered. And then it came to here, and then I had a little a top,
like a stripe
from lace, but it had thick straps, like, and a big huge belly button ring. And I had a long gown over that, a see-through gown, and I had a large thing on my arm, like a kind of you know, Julius Caesar type thing.
Oh yeah,
you know?
the chunky
big
jewelry, yeah.
And then I wore this kind of crown made from metal mesh. And my friend Cynthia Rowley from New York made it. She was a good friend of mine, and I was in hospital with my knee, and it was a few months before I got married, so I started designing it in a book. And I've always been a bit of a tomboy. I never really liked dresses much.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to wear a dress getting married, and I always
so you drew it up.
Yeah, like, because I always thought, you know, brides, when I was a kid, see their dresses like this, right?
Yeah.
And their head sticks out the top.
Yeah,
and I always thought they looked like lampshades. And I was just, I don't want to be a lampshade on my wedding day.
Please don't be made.
I thought it was fine, you know, so I get up the morning of my wedding, I put it on. My mom's like, you look great. My dad's like, who's really Catholic and conservative now, he's like, you look lovely, you know? So then we go to the church, and it's like, fine, you know, but then, of course, the next day, the first day, the day after my wedding, it was on the front cover of every Irish paper, which I didn't want. I didn't invite any of them. They just came.
Yes, of course.
They stood outside and just took pictures and stuff. And the first day it was like, Dolores McCarmus gets married. Yay, we're all very proud of her in Ireland. And the next day it was like, she's a harlot. She's a whore, you know, type thing. Basically, they started kind of giving out shit over my clothes and saying that I was like a slut. But it's like, you know, it wasn't a bit slutty though.
Yes.
I mean, come on, man.
Yes, I mean, probably they would have wanted you to be a lampshade. That was their problem.
Conventional, you know, and the minute you go against the system, like, you're in trouble. And I think it was a few conservative Noras who probably, you know, had a kind of sex hang-ups that were given out about it, really, you know.
Yes, as there always are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm afraid we have to say goodbye to my lovely audience.